Do you want to get hundreds of qualified appointments by just sending cold emails? And you don't want to just get qualified appointments, but you want high ticket clients signing up from it. In this video, I will give you the entire step-by-step process that you can follow to get qualified appointments with potential clients. And the best part is that it'll work instantly. Now, these are the kind of results that you can expect. I can guarantee that this training would work extremely quick because a very few people are using this right now, like me and my clients, and we've already generated a few millions in sales pipeline by using this strategy. So you'd be one of the first few people to take advantage of it. Now you must be thinking, what's so special and new in this cold email training that you don't already know? Well, traditionally people send cold emails like this and also this. But with this new training, we'll separate ourselves from everyone else out there. So watch the video till the end and do exactly as I say to get these crazy results. So these are some of the results that you can expect. And we've only been testing this campaign for our own outbound agency. And we've already gotten over 500,000 in qualified leads in sales pipeline from just running this campaign on 2,000 leads. And the response rate was actually over 7%, but we actually A/B tested some stuff to see. But our main messaging actually had so much market message resonance that it really worked extremely well. So as you see, over 500,000 sales pipeline, 36 qualified leads, and I'll also show you the responses so you'll see. So all of these are positive replies, and these are just recent responses. So we are it's 22nd of April. And all of these are positive replies, the ones that you see in green, and a lot of them. Like they're endless, and we are not even following up with these leads. And they are actually, some of them are even following up with us, not the other way around. So you can even see a lot of our amazing responses. And these are not any business owners. These are companies that are over 10 plus employees, and they are doing millions in revenue. So these are like interested prospects, and they have the money to invest in our service. So all of these are positive replies. And as you can see, 36 sales qualified leads from just this one campaign and reaching out to 2,000 people. And we'll also get more responses, but we're not even following up with these leads. We're just sending like one follow-up, and it's very basic. So the best cold email training to get clients in 2024. And this is coming from a guy who's helped multiple B2B businesses with the same system that I'm about to share with you in this video, and which has helped them book thousands of sales qualified meetings. Now, let's get started. So the first step is setting up the outbound infrastructure, and the first step is quite basic, and I've already covered this in one of my previous videos, so I'm going to link this in the description below. So essentially what we are doing in the first step is we are building an outbound infrastructure to reach 10,000 new leads per month. And this is based off of your ideal customer avatar, which I'll cover in the next step. And in order to do that, I'll just cover it quickly. You need 10 domains, which means you can get 30 Google Workspaces, which means 3 Google Workspaces from each domain. And from each Google Workspace, you can send 30 emails. You can send more, but I'd rather send 30 so you stay under Google's radar. And that means you can send 900 emails per day to potential prospects who are your ideal customers, right? So this is the first step. Okay, so the next step is one of the most important steps. And if you do this wrong, nothing else that you do would work. You need to identify your ideal customer profile. It would be the job titles, it would be the industry, it would be the employee size, it would be what are their main pain points that you're solving with your product or service, and if they even need what you're selling. And once you identify that, then you need to identify where you can find them and how you can target them. Well, how you can target them, I'll show you in this video, but where you can find them, I've covered in one of my previous videos, which I've linked in the description. So you basically need to use data generation tools, or you could also use a tool which I'll share in this video, and basically you can do everything inside that tool. The next thing is, of course, you need to build lead list of your ideal customers based on the job title, the industry, their employee size, if they have a problem, and how we're going to separate ourselves from most people. And this is just like one piece of the puzzle. We're going to do a lot more crazy stuff in this training. But the first piece of the puzzle is we're not just going to target anyone. What we're going to do is we're going to target people based on their intent and based on their interest. And you might have heard of it if you've used data generation tools like Apollo and stuff, but I'm going to assume that you don't know anything, right? So how you can separate yourself is you can find out in the tool that I'll share with you in this video if the company that you're targeting is hiring for a certain role, so you can pitch that service, right? If they've recently seen growth in the number of, let's say, employees they're hiring, or if they've recently grown in terms of their revenue, so you can basically even check that. If they've recently got funding, so they've got funding and they have the money to invest. If they have a new leadership hire, and I've actually tested this in my earlier campaign and it worked extremely well. So let's say if they've hired a new VP of sales or a marketing director or something like that, then you can assume already that this person is going to basically try and grow the business. He's going to hire more people. He is looking for different ways to grow the business. So you can offer that service, whatever senior leadership position they've hired for. They've opened up a new office. They've seen employee growth. They've had a new product launch. You can even check their tech stack, like what tech they're using. So let's say if you're selling them a way where they can save their cost of AWS or stuff like that, where they can save cost on whatever or anything, or they can improve to a new tech, then you can check what tech stack they're using, and if you have a better product, you can offer that. You can even target companies, and you can say you can talk about their website visitors. So you can do everything in the tool that I'll share with you in this video. I've combined these 3 steps together, right? So ideal customer avatar, offer, and copywriting, I'm assuming that this is one step because you do all at once. You need to do all at once. The next thing, which is extremely important, which most people don't get, like what is the offer? And I've had people tell me like they don't understand what a good offer would be. So I've actually written this down in this training. So firstly, you need to understand that you cannot have a 6-page offer that you can send out to people on cold emails. The cold email has to be extremely short and specific and talk about how you can solve their main pain points, which you should know if there's a pain point by using intent and interest beforehand. And I'll show you how you could do that. Now, how do you build an irresistible offer for cold email specifically? There are 4 components of an irresistible offer, right? So it would be quantifiable results. And quantifiable results could be the amount of money they can hope to make, the amount of, let's say, leads they can get, or the amount of money they can save, and things like that. The next would be unique mechanism. You need to understand, even if you're selling a common service, you need to put it in a way where the prospect would understand or would assume or would think that you have a unique mechanism, and you should have a unique mechanism to separate yourself from everyone else out there. Because if you're selling the same thing like everyone else, you are not separating yourself. So you need to have a unique way on how you're delivering these results. The third thing that you need to put all this in your email in one-liner is a time specificity, like in how much time they can expect to get these results, like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 7 days, in 1 day. And the best thing would be is you shorten that time frame, as we all know. And you should have a risk reversal. So let's say you can add that, like if it doesn't work, then you won't pay or stuff like that. Or we'll work for free or something like that. And the fourth thing is risk reversal. So you also need to add a risk reversal, which makes it extremely easy for the potential prospect to hop on a call with you. Because if you have a risk reversal which says that if something doesn't work, then they're not actually losing any money, so they're not at risk, then it's extremely easy for them to say yes. So your offer should be written in a way where it's extremely easy to get yes to and extremely hard to get no to. And I'll show you how you could do that live in this video. Now, the third component of the second step is copywriting. So most people get this wrong, but I'll share with you what kind of copywriting that we use and that we use to get these amazing responses like 500,000 in the sales pipeline. And you need to be hyper targeted in terms of your copywriting. So let's say you're reaching out to a certain industry and a certain person, a certain job title, a certain to a certain role, you need to be hyper specific on what are their pain points and how you can solve them. So you cannot just use like a generic cold email and expect extraordinary results. Once you do that, you need to A/B test the copy. And how you do that is you basically use any lead generation tool like Instantly, and you can easily A/B test. The third thing is when you start out, you might get low positive replies, and there are a few ways to diagnose that. The first thing would be you need to check your lead source and quality, and I'll share with you in this video the best lead source that you could get. The second thing would be you need to basically check your copy and see if the copy is good enough for the potential prospects to respond. And how you can check that is through live market feedback. You need to test by sending the message to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 leads. The third thing you need to see even if you're sending volume. So if you are in a niche or in an industry where the people are responding thousands of email every single day, then it makes sense to send volume, right? Because you are essentially getting in the inbox like everyone else. Of course, you will separate yourself by what I'll share with you in this video, but still you need to do volume, because cold email is also a volume game apart from everything else. So what we are doing in this training is we are also doing volume, like 1,000 emails per day. And we're also targeting companies based on intent, based on interest, based on a lot of detail, which I'll share. And speed to lead is also very important. So what you will need to do is you need to respond to them quickly. I would even go ahead and say, try and respond to them within 15 to 30 minutes, because then you have an extremely high chance of booking them in your calendar. Awesome. So the next step we'll do is we'll use Clay to separate ourselves from everyone else out there, because if you remember, I guarantee you that you'll get results instantly. And the way we do that is by separating ourselves and providing free value in the first email, which leaves the prospect no choice but to respond positively. At least a lot of them would respond positively, and you'll be filled with sales qualified leads. So what we're essentially doing is we'll use Clay. I have the steps written out, which I'll even share the entire Clay table with you, so you can see how crazy the end responses are, and like there's some crazy stuff we could do inside Clay. And we use advanced cold email process for your specific use case. So you could be a lead gen agency, because this is for a lead gen offer, right? You could be a staffing recruitment agency. You could be a software SaaS startup. You could be a B2B enterprise company. You could be like anything, and you could use Clay for your specific use case. And we'll use hyper targeted and personalized outreach, so we can tap into anything we want. We can check intent, interest. We can find the jobs that they're hiring for. We can see if they've recently been hired by checking if they've joined the company recently, and all the crazy stuff. And we can leverage the most advanced lead generation tools using APIs and different things and connecting it inside Clay, and we can basically get access to any data generation tool inside Clay. And not just data generation tools, but anything inside Clay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the Clay table that I've made that got me $500,000 in sales pipeline and similar results for my clients with very similar tables, but for their specific use case. So I'm just going to walk you through what we've done in this Clay table and how we've basically made it. So the first thing is I'm using the software, which is Clay, app.clay.com. You can basically use my referral link, which will get you 3,000 free credits once you sign up for a paid plan. And once you do that, the first thing I've done is I've clicked on create new table, and I've did like find people from Sales Navigator, and I can simply copy and paste the Sales Navigator URL by finding a certain filter. So if you use Sales Navigator, you know that you can find you can basically find the exact job title in the exact industry, the employee size, everything, if they've recently posted, like all the details. So I've done that, and I've actually imported those leads, right? And I'll show you. So this is what we've done. And as you know, the goal is to provide some free value. So this is how this campaign is made. And this is the basic thing, like we've normalized the company name, and we can simply normalize it. If you click on normalize, you'll find normalize company name, this one. So it'll remove all the LLC and all the stuff from the from the name, as you see here. And the next step is really cool, is we'll use a waterfall work email enrichment, which will help us find their work email from multiple tools. So let's say if one data generation tool is not able to find it, it'll automatically go to the next data generation tool to find it, and it will not use any extra credits. So with Clay, you will have a certain number of credits that you can use. And so let's say if one thing doesn't work, it's not going to cost you credit. So this is the best part about Clay in most of the enrichments. So once we found the work email, so the work email enrichment is simply just do work email, and you will use the waterfall enrichment, and you can basically add any. So I am using like 4 tools here, right? And at the end, you'll have you'll have a validated work email of all of the leads. Then what we have is, we have 2 choices. So let's say if you don't have their LinkedIn company description, so if you are importing leads from a different source, or if you're just importing leads from normal LinkedIn profile, you won't have that. But since I've imported the lead from LinkedIn Sales Navigator inside Clay, I also have their LinkedIn company description, which is extremely important for this campaign. So we actually needed that. So as you can see, this is the entire LinkedIn company description, and LinkedIn company description is always very valuable for us, because most of the companies use very specific details and description in this. So they actually have to summarize everything in the LinkedIn description. So LinkedIn description is like almost to the point, and it's short, and it has all the key information that we would need to target this company. But there's another crazy thing that we're doing here, is we are using Zenros, and you can use, so Zenros is basically, it'll scrape their entire website, and it'll grab all the information from their website. So let's say the entire website page, whatever page you want to do. And if you don't have Zenros, you can even do that inside Clay by finding a scrape website enrichment. You can use that, but the one that I'm using is Zenros, and I'm connecting my API key. And it's very easy to connect your API key. You have to buy Zenros by going to Zenros website, and then you can connect your API key. So it'll not even use any credits, but it'll use your Zenros credit, which is pretty cheap. And we're actually scraping the website, and then what we're doing is, the first thing we're doing is we're using GPT-4, or probably 3.5 here. So we're using GPT 3.5, which is extremely cheap, to summarize key details of their website, right? And it's really important that we do that. So we have their LinkedIn company description plus their website summary. And the next step is pretty crazy. So what we're doing here is we are finding the target industry that they sell to. So the prospect that we are reaching out to, we are finding who they sell to. So what we are saying is, we are telling GPT-4, we are giving it the details. So these are the details of this company. This is the company name, description on the website. Using the above information, find the industry that company name sells to. And it's actually finding 99.99% accuracy. It's almost 100% accuracy. And we're also telling it, if you don't find this, output not found. So we can actually remove those leads from the campaign. So as you can see, it's finding really good results like consulting and coaching, marketing and advertising, automotive, even political campaigns, financial advisory. And we are even giving it examples. So if you give it examples, like I've also trained, so you can even give the GPT-4 a personality. So this is who you are. You are a strategic powerhouse, XYZ, whatever. You can even say simply like you are a helpful email assistant. And we're even given examples here. So it's actually going to give us not just a broad industry like software or SaaS, but it's going to give us very specific. So let's say enterprise software, consumer software, cloud computing, fintech, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence. Like you could basically train it so it understands that you don't just need like a normal like generic industry, but you need specific responses. Then the next step we are doing is really awesome, is we also finding the job titles that this company sells to. So what we are training the AI to do is we are telling it, like, find the job titles of key decision makers in this industry, the industry that it found, and this is what we do. So now what we are doing is we are assuming that we are the prospect that we are reaching out to. So make sure you find the job titles that we can sell to, basically based on what we do. And also these job titles should be common enough that we can find these people online. So we're not just finding like crazy job titles, but we need to also find these job titles. So once we send them the email, we can actually fulfill on our promise, right? And you'll see how crazy that is. And basically you will generate 3 job titles that this industry might have and return just the job title. And we're also giving it, we can also give it examples. So let's say it found chief marketing officer, digital marketing manager, creative director, or supply chain, chief information officer, VP of product development. So it can basically find the decision makers or the job titles or the people that they sell to. So we already have a lot of key information about their company without even talking to them. Now, this is really crazy what we can do here. Okay, so let me share with you another table which is exactly the same as this one, but it has a different personalized line which got us these amazing results. Now, what we are essentially trying to achieve here is that we are trying to use a copy which looks something like this, which says, saw that you recently joined this company, as I actually was targeting people that recently joined this company, let's say in the last 12 months. And what we are essentially saying is first line would be personalized, or we could even remove that and we could just say, does company name, or I see that company name sells to these job titles. That's why we're finding this. And what we'll say after that is I went ahead and find 5 targeted leads that could be a great fit for company, or that could benefit companies, that could benefit from company solution. Let's say what you have to sell. Let me know if I should send them your way and you can have a look. And we've done this entire thing inside Clay. So as you can see, we've made a prompt where I'm saying I'm going to provide you research data on a company, which is the prospect that you're reaching out to. We're giving it the ICP, the industry, how we can what we do, essentially what the prospect does for their potential ICP, and what we're saying is you need to write the first line of a cold email to the CEO or the founder or the VP of sales at company name. And I'm also telling it you need to start the email in a certain way. So it's going to start each email in a certain way, which says, saw that you recently joined this company at this date and time, and read how company name does this. So as you'll see, it's not costing us, like it's 0.009007. And even if you multiply that by probably 100 or 1,000, it's only going to cost us like, I don't know, probably very less, like $10 or something. So if you see, it's actually giving us really great responses, which is like, saw that you recently joined 1/6 as the VP of sales in Feb. It's great how 1/6 does XYZ, right? And after that, what we're doing is after the first line, which is we're basically acknowledging that we know that you've recently joined this company. We're basically saying that does company name sell to these job titles? And we're basically adding this in here, which is biomechanics research and whatever it found. And we are saying we found 5 targeted leads that could be a great fit for your company. Let me know if I should send them your way and you can have a look. And this one thing that we added, which is we are trying to tell them, like, we know you joined this company, we know who you sell to, we even went ahead and find these people. Isn't that a crazy offer? Like, we've even done the work for them beforehand. And simply what we're doing is once they respond, we've made it in a way where as soon as they respond, we can even automate the responses. So as soon as someone responds to us, we can simply just click on this checkmark button, this checkbox, sorry, not checkmark, and it actually goes and generates the companies for them automatically. And I'll show you. So what we're essentially doing is as soon as someone responds, it's going to write all the data to this different table. And I'm just showing you a test one. And basically, we're using an enrichment called Claygent. And Claygent is, let's say, AI, plus it has the capability to Google stuff. And it's basically like you can say it's like an assistant who could basically search the web and also use AI. And we are actually giving it all the details. So this is the industry. These are the industry challenges. This is what we do. And based on this information, find 5 companies that we can potentially sell to and create a list of their website URLs. And you would find these companies on LinkedIn, Google, or searching the web on multiple sources. And we're even emphasizing that you have to basically match all this criteria. And it couldn't be a very big company like Microsoft, Salesforce, or $1 billion Fortune 500, or the biggest companies in the world. And it's actually finding us good companies. And once it finds the good companies, we're actually also adding similar job titles. We've added an enrichment through Apollo's API key, where we are finding all these contacts, let's say CEO, CTO, VP of technology, VP of engineering, chief director, like whatever we want to find from each company. And it's finding all this data. And at the end, it gives us the data like this, which is all the data, like from all these companies. And then we'll use AI again, which is going to be pretty cheap. It's $0.00 some dollars, and it's going to find the most ideal prospects for this company. And we have the data already. So we can even add the email for this. We haven't added. So we can add the email. We have the LinkedIn profile. We can even add the phone number, all the details that we want. And we just simply have to copy and paste and send it to them. And we can even automate this entire process. And you can even add all the data directly to instantly. I don't know why it says failed. It was working, but for some reason it says failed here because it hasn't updated. But you can essentially connect your instantly. As you can see, you don't even have to manually export or import, and you can connect all the data and you can add it in a certain campaign. It basically shows you just have to add your Instantly's API key. And this is how we beat everyone in cold email. And this was a specific use case for if you are running a lead gen agency, if you are selling appointments, leads, stuff like that. But you could basically change it to your specific use case, as I've said here, and it could work for absolutely any industry. And the best thing you could do is provide some free value, as we've heard, because in 2024 going forward, everyone is sending a lot of cold emails, and the ones who are going to win are the ones who are going to do something different. Otherwise, you just are another person who's just like sending cold emails. So this was the most important step. And then what you'll do is you need to basically manage your inbox. So basically you can integrate all the replies. So as soon as someone responds back, you can connect your Slack. So what you can do is you can go ahead and you can connect your Instantly to Slack. So as soon as someone responds instantly or smartly, as soon as someone responds positively, the response will be sent to your Slack, and it's pretty normal. So you can basically see who messaged, and you can just click on this and you can respond to them quickly and efficiently, because speed to lead is extremely important in cold outreach. And you can also download their app on your phone and you can respond from there. I'm not sure if Smart Lead has an app, but Instantly and Smart Lead are one of the best, and I use Instantly. And you have to manage your sales pipeline efficiently. Now, I've just added a simple KPI tracker that you can use. And these are the results that you can expect starting out. And you can even, if you're selling a software SaaS product, which is low ticket in a few $100s or an enterprise software, you can basically get a lot better results than this. You can even get like 1% response, appointment booking rate, or even better than that if you're doing everything correctly. But let's assume that we are reaching 10,000 leads per month. It could be 5,000. And you only get a 0.5% appointment booking rate, all right? And it's only like 20% or somewhere around that of 3% positive reply rate. So let's say 3% people respond to you, and out of those 3%, 20% of those 3% people have responded positively. So that's like 0.6% something. And I've took that as an example here. So you can book about 50 qualified meetings, and this is for a high ticket offer, right? Where the total lifetime value is like 5K or something, and you can basically expect to get these results. And if you do exactly as I say, I can guarantee you that you'll actually beat everyone who's doing cold emails, and you can get amazing results from your cold email campaign. Now, whatever I've told you in this video won't get you clients, because now you've got appointments set, but what's the point of putting all this work in when you can't really close them? So go ahead and watch this next video where I break down exactly how you can close high ticket clients from cold email.